Unity of the Huachucas presents Reverend Rob Wheeler.
Recognizing guidance.
And today we're talking about recognizing guidance. I finally turned around the right way. I had to share this with you because it happens. Just about the time you think you've got it figured out where you're going to go, something jumps up and says, not just yet. Breathe. And it happened to me this morning as I got here. And it's based on the word called translation. You see, in our humanness, we accept the writings of one author or another, sometimes into antiquity, as being the word. And it is, as I see it, however. It's not necessarily the word that was originally spoken. Why? Well, because some guy read it and said, I don't like that word, so he put a line through it and put in a new word. Because the new word made more sense to him than the old one. And so today we get to read and go, I'm not sure if this word works or not. As an example, like I said, I practiced all day. 1 Corinthians, our friend Paul is talking to the Corinthians, and he says in the 12th chapter, Now ye are the body of Christ, and members in particular. And God hath set some in the church, first apostles, secondarily prophets, thirdly teachers, after that miracles, then gifts of healings, helps, this is the word with the line through it, governments, diversities of tongues. The other translation says, first of all is apostles, second prophets, third teachers, then miracles, then gifts of healings, of helpings, of guidance, and different kinds of tongues. Changes the meaning, doesn't it? Which word's correct? They both are. They both are. When taken in context. And that becomes part of the challenge we have, and that's the guidance we seek. From the time I was maybe 5 that can remember, I never left my great-grandmother's house without this. God's wisdom guides you. God's love surrounds you. Nothing but good can come to you, for you are a child of God. And she said that to every person that left her house. I wasn't unique in that. My point is, from age 5, year after year after year, to the point where, in my head, as I leave my house, I personalize it. God's wisdom guides me. God's love surrounds me. Nothing but good can come to me because I'm a child of God. And that's what we are seeking. Personalize this message. And then we get to play. As an example, in the Testament, he says the church, Paul talks about the church. But Fillmore says the church has a different meaning. I love this one because it's so much fun. The true Christ church is not an outer sect or a religious denomination. First of all, it is an aggregation of spiritual ideas in individual consciousness. You are the church. The church of Kathy. The church of Rob. Church of Fred. Because it's an aggregation in our consciousness, a coming together in understanding and agreement about what some words mean and what some words don't mean. And then moving forward in that way. And therein lies the rub. It's the moving forward. How many times a day do you breathe and acknowledge the presence of God active in your life? Every couple of seconds works, but nobody does that. He said, raise his hand. I had a practice that I would work for 55 minutes. And near the top of the hour, I would stop and take a 6-minute break. Just to breathe, to give thanks for what had occurred in the previous hour, ask for assistance and guidance for the next 50 minutes or plus. Why 6 minutes? Anybody want to take a wild guess? Tithing. I give 10% back to God. Fun, huh? See how you connect dots? Did it work? Yeah, way big time. My days were extremely productive. The work that we did collectively was easy to recognize because during those times we worked together to set aside us and work together as we, understanding our oneness, our connection with each other. For me, the gift of healing is so important because that's what unity was founded on, was healing. The understanding that you are one with perfect life, perfect love, perfect intelligence. The recognition that because God is all, both visible and invisible, we are one with that. And the way we express that one is what? Get out of the way. Just breathe. With every breath I take, I breathe in that which I need. And as I exhale, I breathe out, I release, I let go of that which my world needs. And I don't even have to know what it is. In fact, it's probably best I don't even try. Just saying. Because if in God's world, it's this way. In my world, well, we don't do that. We don't do that. No. I just need to breathe. And then I need to step out. You see, one of the things that we have been taught is that it's not enough to pray. We must take action on our prayers, hence the need for guidance. And I wrote this one down because how many of you have had really hard experiences in your lifetime? And anybody who's not raising their hand is fibbing. We all have, right? Here it comes for guidance. You always have the opportunity to choose. You can choose to be in alignment, or you can choose to do it your way, but you don't have to. And here's the more important part. You need to erase the belief that you have to have hard experiences. You don't. You are not required to have hard experiences. Choose. I've discovered most of the time when I'm willing to take the time, when I'm willing to listen to that inner voice, the one that says go this way or go that way, I get a much more harmonious outcome for me and for my world. It's very hard for me to want peace in my world when I don't have peace in my heart. And I've been a peacekeeper my whole life. I joke I'm going to talk about my brother having been in uniform from the time of the age 7 to today. And he's 2 years younger than I, so only 12. Here. Started in Boy Scouts with an oath of office to honor God. That's one of the pieces. And then into the military. And then into law enforcement, ministry, law enforcement ministry. Peacekeeper. That was the original intent, by the way. And I kind of have to breathe a couple of times every time I hear the term Leo. Because I'm not a Leo. I'm a Capricorn. That's the first thing. But see, as I came out of the military and into law enforcement, I was a peace officer. Blessed be the peacemakers, for they shall be the children of God. I already was one of those. Remember my Nana? You were a child of God. You were a child of God. You were a child of God. I am a child of God. And a peacemaker. And I held that mantle. And as a result, I had some interesting experiences that a lot of other people didn't. I don't know why. Well, I know why. But in California, they have a code called 50-50. Today they call that emotionally disturbed person. Crazy people. They're not crazy. They're just lost. And I used to get those calls all the time. And sometimes they would call me, an officer would respond, and then call me to get the guy out of the closet. Why? Because I took the time to get past the surface and connect with the one. To hold to the one. To say, come with me. I love you. I am here to serve you, not head. To serve you, to find you a way past where you are, to help you in that way. And more than one time, I rode all the way to an ambulance to the hospital and waited, and then got a ride back to my car to go back to work. That was part of my mission. It's not one stated in the statutes, the government, but the guidance piece is there. See, and all of us have within us that ability to reach out and connect. Part of it requires us to reach past judgment. Anybody want to take a wild guess as to why Jesus was such a good healer? I heard this the first time I went, that's because he never saw anybody as sick. He didn't try to fix anybody. They weren't broken. He just loved them. He just loved them. He loved them so much that he connected with them. And he loved them so much that that power, that energy spread to those around. And that healing power is within you right now. And I invite you to just reach out and take it. Just reach out and take it. You have the tools. And the tool is what? I am a channel through which God works in my world. Thank you, God. And then I breathe. And I breathe again. And I breathe again. I share with you this. The path I just described is not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. Because you have to quit judging you as well. This will judge not lest ye be judged. That was aimed at you. It's not out here. Right here. Don't compare yourself with anybody else. You are right where you need to be, right here, right now, in this moment. And that's true every step of every day of your life. You're right where you need to be. However, I need to do this. I need to be open to see it. And I need to get me out of the way. And I hear it all the time. I just heard somebody say it here. But Rob, you don't know. And then you told a story. The story is yours, and I'm not going to share it. That story tries to separate you from the truth of who you are. And it's not true. You believe it. You live it. You express it. Still not the truth of who you are. In our blessings with one another. This was one of the hardest things I had to learn to do. I love you. I bless you. I behold the Christ as you. As you. You are the Christ in expression. That's a hard one to take hold of. Because I just heard it again. Oh, Rob, no, you can't put me in that same basket. Yes, I can. We are one. But we have all this stuff that we've gathered over the years that we've taken with us. And we've said, this is true, or that is true, or the other thing is true. That may or may not be true. But you believe it, so therefore it is, right? Guidance. If it's not true, what is? I guess I need to look. Quick question. How many of you bless your car every time you get in it? Or try to. I saw that. See? Good for you. You get the lantern of truth. I share that with you because my mother drove cars that should not be on the road. She got in that car and blessed it every day. And it got her to work and home. It was a 1955 Volkswagen Bug. And it drove 72 gazillion miles. It took a family of 4 and 2 cats and all the luggage and all the food inside that Bug for a 2-week vacation in the mountains. But she blessed that car every day. And her thinking was this: why not? It's a thing too. It is serving me. So the least I can do is be thankful. I've never forgotten that. And every now and again my car goes, and I go, thank you, I love you. Added steering wheel. Flip it slight. Why? It's part of my experience. It's one with the same I am one with. We're all connected. Everything about us, every circumstance about us is connected. The only separation is the one I create. Now, collectively we create a lot of separations and we buy into each other's stuff. Okay. That's the human experience. However, we know a better way. We know a better way. Most of the time we don't believe we can do it, but we know it. So sometimes we just need to interpret things. And as we interpret them, we get a little better. and understanding. So that when we see something, we can say, oh, I understand. This serves someone in my sphere, whatever it is. I'll give you an example. I am not a singer. If you heard me sing, you'd know why I love to dance. Okay? I play tenor 12 miles down the road. And mostly sing solo. So low you can't hear it. My teaching is quiet silence. That it is from the silence that I listen. Okay? Comma, however, the music touches you. Someone this morning, this day, needed to hear yes. I don't know who needed to hear it. I don't need to know. I don't even need to like it. I just need to know that it's true, that touched someone. It could be you. Same thing with Karen Drucker. I got to take a quick Karen Drucker story. I was in a conference with her. She is the funniest gal. She is just so full of energy and spark. And she was talking about our closing song. She says, why do you play that dirge? Let there be peace on it. And that's how she sang it. I went, that's not how we sing it. She said, okay, but that's how I've seen it sung. She was giving us a lesson from her perspective. And if you listen to her words, man, she does this. And she is out there. If she got further out, she'd be out of the building. Wonderful, warm human being. Through her music, reaches out and touches. Marianne Williamson, familiar name? Course in Miracles, right? A channel's work. A place to listen in my mind. And then do the work. If one can do it, all can do it. We're just talking about Paul, your friend. Well, different Paul. There's a lot of them around. That do channel work. Channeling is what? I listen, I open my mouth, let the words flow. Not I, but the Father through me does the work. Oh, who said that? That would be our elder brother, Jesus. Not I, but the Father through me does the work. Before our opening this morning, it took just a few minutes. I do it every time. So if I disappear sometime, you'll know what I'm doing. Give you a hint. Just to be quiet. And to center. To ask for guidance. Here we go again. Right? Let this day, what needs to be said by me be said. Let this day, what needs to be heard through me. I am the channel through which you speak this day. And for that, I'm blessed. You bless me. And together, we'll walk from this place with a new sense of purpose, a new idea of how to make our world better. And that's by simply asking and recognizing guidance. Yeah.